Hurrah! Oh, hello. Where have I gone? Where have I gone? No, I'm there. Hello. Oh, I need to put that camera down a little bit. Yeah. Oh, no, up a bit. Up a bit, I mean. Hello, can you hear me? If you can hear me, put A1 in the comments. And lovely. So, little advert there for the Ultimate Rider Confidence course, which is currently at half price, mostly done so that I can work out how to use this stream. And that was quite good. So I've managed to get the introduction, the timeline going down and play videos. So if anyone's got a question and I've got the video for it, I'll be able to play it on here and that'd be marvelous. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. As promised in the title, let's see what the spirits have got from the little book of horse sense for you. There you are. I did say on the previous stream that everybody's names is coming up as Facebook user. So if you drop in a message and I don't call you by your name, it's apparently a error by the StreamYard thing, and they sent me a little note saying this is an error. We're going to work it out soon enough. YouTube viewers, I get to see your names, but Facebook users not. Right then. Let's see if this message is for you. This is like a seance type thing. Right. Think of this book. Think when you want me to stop. And this message will be for you. Okay. Stopping in 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh. Well, we've got two here. Two good ones. One is my most popular saying. And if you were thinking of this book and this message is for you, it's going to mean a lot. Now, I'm hoping that that's come out the right way around and not in mirror image. But if it has come out in mirror image, it says, less faffing, more assassin. So if that means something to you, I don't know what it means. I'm assuming it means something to you. It's actually taken from my horseback archery course. And the horseback archery course is fiddly. You've got this tiny little slot on to get to a tiny little string. The slot is on the end of the arrow, and the string obviously is in your bow. And it's pretty tricky, and you've got to keep your mind in what your fingers can feel, because you're supposed to be looking at your target. So you're fixing it by feel, pass off, anything at all. So for example, we'll start at walk and trot. So let's say, for example, your horse is trotting up the lane, and quite often they'll stick very close to the edge of the lane. I've got 2 lengths of string and posts to make this track. It's the same track that we use for the Confident Canter course, if you've ever seen the videos on that. Which has reminded me, I should mention that there is some sort of Black Friday offer on the Confident Canter course at the moment. I don't know what the offer is. I know it's on there. Zana's in charge of that sort of thing. So I know that she's put a post on my page somewhere, and there is an offer. So if you get a voucher now, it's going to be cheaper, because it's cheaper from this year's prices, and obviously next year, and the cost of living goes up. Anyway, so I've mentioned that now. You might have seen the track on the Confident Canter, and what was that? Something's beeping over there. One of the many devices that now strew themselves around our homes. So there's 2 tracks, and if the horse goes close to one of the fences, sometimes they're just supported on little plastic posts, and your toe can just touch the posts. It happens. And the best thing to do when your toe touches the post is to shoot the goal target. And the best thing to do if your horse stumbles in the sand is to shoot the gold. And the best thing to do if a jet fighter goes overhead when you're trying to get your arrow on your string is to shoot the gold. And the best thing to do, if you know what the answer is, if A, B, or C, anything happens, our minds are constantly trying to get us to think about anything else apart from the job at hand. In other words, to start the what ifs. You know the what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? In that situation, with the horses just doing what they're doing, and they've done it 100 times, well, 100 times today. Hang on, I just quickly lost this. That's very irritating. Basically, you can trust the horses, you can trust the course. Stop letting your mind decide it's going to think about anything else but putting that arrow on that string, when actually at the time you just need to think about putting that arrow on that string. And basically you need to stop faffing. And a lot of people have that in their horse riding all the time. You have to stop faffing and be more of an assassin. Bloody minded, totally focused, do the do. And it's funny because when you actually hit that mental attitude, it's really quite a focused way to be. You haven't forgotten about your horse, but it really focuses the mind and gets you to do A, good horse archery, and B, solve those what ifs, because you're giving yourself a job. So yeah, in your horse riding, less faffing, more assassin, he said as he faffs with his. Right, and the other one, which I now have to look for because I've lost it. I've lost it. That obviously wasn't somebody's message. So here we are. Going for the next one. If this is you, if you've got a question for the Little Book of Horse Sense, put the question in your mind. The answer is coming now. Got it? Got it? Stopping in 3, 2, 1, stop. This is your message. Someone shouting, prepare to canter in a canter lesson means everyone is scared. Someone shouting, prepare to canter in a canter lesson means everyone involved is scared. I'll explain what I mean, because obviously people come out with, no, we shout it all the time, and it just means that we're literally all going to go and canter and this and that. What I mean is, when people talk about, we're talking about canter a lot, aren't we? When people are building up to becoming competent at canter, well, first of all, you need to be competent at trot. We need to work in bite sizes. If you can only just trot and you're still scared, and you're still what ifing, and you've not actually got to the point where you're enjoying trotting about, or can trot at various different speeds within the trot, working trot, extended trot, slow trot, and if you're still in that I'm a novice at trot, then don't even bother going on to canter. You need to be enjoying yourself and scooting around quite happily at trot first. Then it's time for you to get on to canter. And first of all, the whole canter thing is like a big black cloud. The way people talk about canter is a big black cloud. They'll go, oh, I'm gonna do my canter lesson next week, and it's already kind of like, ooh, and then people are like, oh, this year I'm going to conquer canter. We're not in Ukraine. You don't have to conquer anything. We're not at war. We're going to learn how to run in a different gate, but people are like, so crack, that's another one, I'm going to crack canter. And then people are like, oh, is it your canter lesson? A canter, 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 canter. But none of it's very jolly. It all sounds terrifying. It sounds like you're saying gallows rather than canter. So you've got yourself wound up that it's your canter lesson anyway. And when you're feeling frightened, let's not say frightened, let's just say nervy because you're new to it. You're feeling nervy. You've got 3 different things to get used to. A, the plunge into canter, which can be a bit of a roar. B, being in canter, where you're in an unfamiliar territory, the movement's different. What's it going to feel like? Can I get into this rhythm? And of course, by the time you are into the rhythm and going, oh yeah, this is all right. Well, we've got a corner coming up then, and then you start worrying about the corner. Then you're on the short side. You've got a corner coming up before you can even blink. Well, that's all going to take your focus away. And then after you've got used to the canter, whether you do or not, you've then got the transition down out of canter into trot, and it's one of the cruelest things. That seems to be the hardest transition ever, is coming out of canter into trot. And suddenly, I remember I didn't learn to ride till I was 36. So I do remember bobbling around. The horse had come out of canter, go into trot. I'd be bobbling around all over the place. My shoulders would be going, my legs would be going, and basically the horse would just go wherever it wanted, because it now had washing line reins. Somebody who just was bobbling around, and it pulled into the middle of the school and just did that shake that they just we just sat on top of it. So I do remember, but it's an awful transition. And so that's 3 quite big things that you got to get used to. Plus you've got the whole black cloud of canter anyway, which, if you think you're going to the gallows, then obviously all the what ifs, what if I fall off? Well, I'll be falling off at speeds. Oh my God, now your mind's going. You've got all this going on, and then you've got people going, right, you need to collect up your trot, get so much on the bit. Maybe they'll even say shorten the reins, sit back, sit deep. Your left leg does this, your right leg does that, your left hand does that, your right hand does that. Don't forget to look like this. Don't forget to breathe like this. Blah, blah, blah. I've just rattled off about 14 things there. No, maybe not 14. Left foot, right foot, right hand, left hand. Gather up your reins, sit deep, sit up. Remember your breathing, look where your eyes are going. Put one leg back. There's 10. How can anybody expect you to remember all those things as you're coming along the short side, about to go through that corner into canter, when you think the whole thing's a really bad idea anyway, because everyone's been going, I'm going to conquer canter this way. Oh, canter, canter, canter. And then you what if in as well. If you manage to hold yourself together there, okay, I'm ready, you've done everything you can to remember this stuff, you're going trot, trot, trot. Now's the moment. As you come along the short side, your instructor then goes, prepare to canter. Oh. No. Oh dear, you might as well say prepare to die. That's why everyone's in a mess. And I do believe, well, obviously it'd put the chits up you, obviously. And I do believe that the instructors are also, I mean, they're worried as well. I don't know how or why they're worried, but they are worried. Maybe they're worried that I don't know. I couldn't possibly guess, but people shouting prepare to canter is possibly the worst thing you could do at that time. You've just got it all together. You're on a knife edge anyway. And then somebody yells that. It's not for a good reason. it isn't received well, it isn't sent well. What a mess. When we do our Confident Decanter course, we stop using the word canter, except in the title so everyone knows what we're doing. And my main line of the day is trot up this track until you're sick of it and then run up to Zana. I mean, it's so not the whole prepared to canter thing, because the whole thing is just dripping in fear. So, yeah, I don't think that yelling prepared to canter is the least bit inspiring. It doesn't give the slightest impression that anybody's in control of anything. So, if you want my advice, here's your takeaway. This might have been your message taken from the spirits where they stopped the little book of horse sense, especially for you. The motto is trot up the track until you're sick of it and then run over there. Lovely. I'm just going to have a little look at the comments. Oh, I'm glad you chose that one. That's made me laugh, actually. I'm afraid, as I said, oh no, the name's back. Oh, good grief. Oh, thank you very much. We've got Maggie and Rach and Michelle. Thank you very much for joining in and putting your. Oh, let's just see. Just talk about yourselves. Let's pop that one on. I had to read them first to see whether. Oh, why is my comment not coming up? Hey, got it to work. Sorry, talking myself there. What have you ridden all your life? Cantered confidently, but less confident as you've got older, like late 50s, and more aware of getting hurt, but you didn't used to be like that. It's funny, this one, actually. It's a really, really good question, and it comes up all the time. And what I'm looking out into the distance for is a way of concisely putting the blame, because the reason less confident as you get older is because the people around you tell you that you get less confident as you get older, and then you agree with them going, yes, you get less confident as you get older. Every time, look, your riding is going to be like a finance graph. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. Your confidence goes up because you've got something good going on, and then it goes down because you've got something bad going on. And that's it. And as long as it's heading in the general upwards direction, as long as you're improving, you're jumping the next jump, riding in the next environment, playing the next game, going to the next place, meeting the next people, that's all groovy. But every time there's something hits and you have a dip in your confidence or ability, you fall off, for example, and then you're kind of like, oh, a bit funny about getting on. If you're then surrounded by people going, yeah, well, you get less confident as you get older because you're more likely to get hurt, aren't you? And, you've got to remember that you don't bounce like you used to. You don't heal like you used to. Your bones get more brittle as you get older. What are the grandkids going to do without you? And that happens every time. Then you find yourself saying it to somebody else. Genuinely, everything about what you've just put there, you get less confident as you get older because people tell you to get less confident as you get older. I promise this doesn't happen in the professional worlds. John Whittaker's old and he's jumping over those jumps, and people are like, oh, I saw him last weekend. Well, we're in 2024. The Queen was old. This is so much everybody else. I've got so many. I put up Jerry Juice yesterday. Have we still got? Oh, I haven't got that picture anymore. 72. Oh, I can't get the picture while I'm on live. I should have prepared it beforehand. That's why I put the picture on. Jerry Juice, the trick rider. Just scroll down just a couple of posts from this one. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. Trick rider doing tricks in a show, smiling a little head off as she was 72. The Queen I've already mentioned. You know, a lot of these racers, Frankie Dettori, as young as he was, a lot of these. I'm not as young as I was, but I'm not surrounded by people telling me your bones get more brittle as you get older. 100%. That's exactly what's happening there. Wow, that was deep. Maybe that was the spirits from the little book. Smashing. I've seen a couple of comments, so just chat amongst yourselves. Chat amongst yourselves. I like that one. Well done, Nicola Lambourne. I think you can win with this one. Prepare to canter equals tense up if it's the part you're worried about. Yeah, I like that. That's made me chuckle. I should have put that in my little book. This is the one, Maggie. You're going to win. I'm going to end on this one, actually. We've got... Oh, hang on. Talking about myself. And another thing, actually, Trisha's just done a good one there. Let me just show Trisha's one there. Oh, no. Hang on. That's not the one I meant. Where have we gone? Sorry, Trish. I don't mean to avoid your comment there, but this is what I want to talk about. I love this. Those "you don't bounce" words was said to me this morning. I've never been able to bounce. This is the other thing. People have a rose-tinted glasses when they look back and they go, I just used to gallop everywhere and not worry about anything. I bet that you had your limit, because everybody does. I have my limit. So yes, you've got this selective memory of galloping around and doing that, and you've forgotten the other memory where you're like, oh bloody hell, I'm not riding that, and I don't want to do that, and I'm not very happy about that, or I got scared then, or there was that time that I had 3 weeks off because that horse bolted with me. It took me ages to get and you've forgotten it. It took me ages to get myself back together to get on, and you've forgotten it. We do have rose-tinted spectacles. I've never been able to bounce. I think that's a very fair comment. Very fair comment. Trish is saying, I just wanted to show Trish's as well. Sometimes it's impossible to avoid these comments. Yeah. I was planning to ride. One of the yard workers said, I'll help you get TJ in as the... Yeah, great. The comment's quite big. It's actually hiding my face. So myself and Zana once did a little trapeze act that we had in a cabaret show, little doubles trapeze act, and it was a nice little act, about 6 minutes long, and we went to this place and we had to borrow the trapeze, and it was quite a lot higher than we'd been on before. And we were like, oh, that is quite high, isn't it? And then we went, tell you what, we'll go up there, we'll just sit on it, and we'll just get used to the perspective of it. So we went up and we sat on it, and we got used to the perspective of it. And it's like, actually, this is all right. We went through a few little moves, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's all right. And we were up there about 40 minutes, totally getting used to it, and there we are. And it was just time for us to go on. The cabaret show went on, and we got to our little act, and we we're just about to go up, and one of the people was like, oh, it is quite high, isn't it? Carlazana. And it just gets you sometimes. So it happens to everybody, and you can't avoid these comments. You're quite right. But how to not take them on board is to Be professional, look cool. Be professional, look cool. If you're being professional, the comments from people who are just saying the first stupid thing that comes into their head, such as, you don't bounce like you used to, you don't heal like you used to, your bones get more brittle as you get older, and all that blah. Professional people just don't get, they don't have those conversations in the first place, and they don't get involved if they don't. And this is how I say protect myself, but it's not protecting myself. I am a professional, as in it's my paid work, but I'm also a professional in my attitude, that I carry the professional frame of reference, which is, as you know from your work or your driving to work or anything where there's risk involved, there is a job to do. I am doing it. Underneath that is stitched all the safety and this and that. And that is a professional attitude. The leisure riding attitude is that horses are dangerous. It's totally opposite. That's how I separate myself, because I have a lot of conversations about rider confidence and fears. And if I actually took on board what people were just saying off the top of their heads for no reason at all, either they're frightened themselves or they just want to stamp their authority that I know horses better than you. I get it all the time on my Facebook posts. People correcting me or pointing out what I haven't thought of is and going, yes, that's all very well, but all they're saying is that I am considerably more horsey than you. And that's it. That's all they're saying. So, yes, you can't avoid these comments, but the way to not take them on board is that I'm a professional. You're obviously taking the leisure rider, non-professional tack as you approach this day's events. Otherwise, you wouldn't be having this conversation. There we are. That's how I avoid them. Lovely. I talk about myself. Yeah, here we are. Well, this is the same comment that we just had. Oh, what Regis says is true as well. Let me show this. Then I'll show Barbara's. A lot of good comments coming up. I hear those comments all the time, but I think those people saying the comments feel that way themselves and they want others to feel that way to bolster their fears. Yes, misery loves company. In amongst riders, emphasizing how scary and rubbish and dangerous it all is in some way or another. As you say, what did you say? They want others to feel that way too, to bolster their fears. The misery loves company. But it's also tremendously selfish. So don't do it yourself. We all know the dangers of horses, but we all know the dangers of cars. But when we go to Greg's to get a pasty, you just put on your seatbelt and you go and get a pasty. What you don't do is drive around trying not to crash and then come home again. And you might have remembered to go and get a pasty or not. That's not what you do. So we all know the dangers of certain situations: crossing the road, riding a bicycle, driving a car, riding a horse, going in an airplane. But if you just want to bang on and on and on about them, there is an element of wanting other people. What you're wanting is validation. You want validation that horses are dangerous, therefore it's quite right for you to feel nervous. And you're turning around going, what if they take your bloody head off? And now they're nervous and they go, oh yeah, that's not very good, is it? Yeah, horses are dangerous. And you're like, oh, I told you, I'm not just being an idiot. All of this disappears if you take the professional attitude. There is a job to do and we are doing it. It's very simple. Now get out of my get out of my way. And I'm going to finish on Barbara Lambert's comment, which is it. Definitely, the more you do, the more you have. 100%. If you wait to feel confident before you ride, you're never going to ride. You've got to have those experiences. You go out, you do something. Let's say you're going over a trotting pole and the horse stops and you fall forwards onto its neck and you push yourself up again and your fear goes, oh, and then it's all fine. And your instructor says, well, the horse sensed your reluctance there. There's a phrase with jumping: throw your heart over the fence. You throw your heart over the fence first and then go. And your instructor tells you that, and you'll go, right, okay, I need to do that. Throw your heart over, and over you go. And you're like, whoa, I did it. And it's like, yes, you now have that experience in the bank. It's like, okay, right, okay. And you're never going to beat having those experiences in the bank. So on the level that you're at, get those experiences. And then when that level is absolutely chock-a-block full of confidence because you've had those experiences, I'm all right if I feel a little bit nervous because I'll throw my heart over the fence. I'm all right if it stops and spooks because I know I can stay on. So I'll feel even more inclined to throw my heart over the fence. That was 6 months ago, and I've been doing it for 6 months, and actually I'm fine, and I can actually have the confidence to turn my head and look at the next one and say something to my instructor, and actually we're doing all right, and I'm thoroughly enjoying myself now, and round we go. Now you're at the stage to go, let's put one of the jumps up a hole. And lo and behold, the nerves will be back again. But the more you do, the more you have, as a very wise person said 5 minutes ago. Super cool. If you've been, it's gone off. Oh, it's back on again. Only for half an hour. So if you've got any questions, stick them in the comments. Quick recap: the online course is still at half price. We've just released the gift vouchers for next year's Confident Canter and the Kids Rider Confidence and the Adults Rider Confidence. And I believe that they're on a Black Friday offer at the moment. So have a little look down from my page and you might see that offer. Tickets are limited, so get those gift vouchers, valid for a year, all of next year. So if you want that bargain price, get them now. But of course, the vouchers will be constantly coming out right through the winter. I think that's enough. Thanks for listening, and thanks for joining me. See you later. Put any questions in the comments. End stream there, and end stream there.